Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/thenerdcore. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Hello, nerds. You're listening to an episode on the Nerdcore podcast feed. If you're feeling generous, please consider pledging to a tier on our Patreon at patreon.com/thenerdcore. We have tiers as low as $1 per month. Thanks so much, and enjoy the episode.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Nerdcore podcast. The podcast reviews of movies and talks that nerd shit. This is episode 301, and it is your Irishman review to finally end Scorsese Film Month. Kinda. We have to review this movie since it was on our targets. As always, it is the Nerd Chicano here to host the show alongside my wonderful co-host, Young Yoda.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show.
Yep. Brad's got a new microphone. Thank you to all the wonderful people at the Patreon, and he sounds better than ever, and I cannot hear that dog anywhere.
Nope. And she's making a shit ton of noise, so amazing. It's magic.
Yep. It's magic, dude. I'm telling you. You see? Yeah. All right, dude. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right, bro. I'm doing all right. Came back from work, talking to one of my best friends. So, it's a good day to be alive.
It's a good day to be alive, for sure, bro. For sure. And today we're going to talk about The Good Old Irishman. And for those of you who are unaware, I did make a review of The Irishman on the website. There's one up there for you guys to read, but now there's going to be one for you all to listen to. And soon there will be one for you guys to watch on the YouTubes. But like I said, new computer, I had to know where I can get the program I had where I was able to take snippets from the trailers and stuff. So I don't have that on this one anymore. Because new computer. All right. If there is nothing else to say, my friend, I believe we can go deep into this already. So, let's go ahead and talk about this movie. If you have not watched The Irishman yet, because you either have no time on your hand, or you just have not gotten the courage to watch a 3-hour and 30-minute movie, then you might want to click off here and stop listening. But if you don't care about spoilers, then you can keep listening. I promise you guys, there's not much spoilers I can give you on this because, it's based on a book. And the book is old. So come on, guys. So let's go ahead and get into it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Irishman, also titled on screen as I Heard You Paint Houses, is a 2019 American epic crime film directed and produced by Martin Scorsese and written by Steven Zaillian. Based on the 2004 book I Heard You Paint Houses by Charles Brandt, it stars Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Joe Pesci with Ray Romano, Bobby Cannavale, Anna Paquin, Stephen Graham, Stephanie Kutzaba, Jesse Plemons, and Harvey Keitel in supporting roles. The film follows Frank Sheeran, played by De Niro, a truck driver who becomes a hitman involved with mobster Russell Bufalino, played by Joe Pesci, and his crime family, including his time working for the powerful teamster Jimmy Hoffa, played by Al Pacino. And, of course, this is the famous movie that was, distributed by Netflix, and it was, produced by Netflix as well. So, there's a lot of people here who put their money into this movie. And, music done by Robbie Robertson. Cinematography done by Rodrigo Prieto, by the way. That's incredible. I did not know it was Prieto who did the cinematography on this. And edited by none other but the legend herself, Thelma Schumacher. And it was distributed on November 1st, 2019 worldwide, but it was premiered at the New York Film Festival September 27, 2019 with a budget of almost $200 million. And it has a box office of $7.5 million, but I believe Netflix put out the numbers that 21 million or 28 million people watched the Irishman on its first week of release on Netflix. And they said that they only count the viewers of people who watch 70% of a movie or 70% of a thing. So we finally understand how this works for Netflix. And yes, if you guys did not know, the movie runs at 209 minutes, which translates over to 3 hours and 29 minutes, 30 minutes if you're counting in those credits. So it's a long one, my friends, but not longer than Lawrence of Arabia for sure. So Brad,
What's up?
did you like that joke about Lawrence of Arabia?
Say it again. Sorry.
I said that it's 3 hours and 29 minutes long, but it's not longer than...
Jesus Christ, it's Seven Samurai all over again.
So, you want to give me your initial thoughts on The Irishman since you didn't write the review?
Yeah, I can state a few things that might or might not help anyone who hasn't watched this or has. I can say it's definitely a good Scorsese movie. Is it my favorite? No. I'd say Goodfellas is still up there as my favorite. But was it nice to see De Niro and Pesci and Pacino all on the screen together? That was amazing. So it might be the last time we actually get to see De Niro and Pesci. Unless Scorsese has something else that I'm not aware of. But it was good to see those three give an all-star performance once again in a mob movie that we've come to love them all being in. Pesci was a little more toned down in this one, which makes sense because he is older and he plays an older mobster. Pacino plays a wonderful Hoffa, and De Niro gives an amazing performance. And the whole de-aging thing and all that technology they used, I think it went pretty well. I'm not going to say it was perfect in a way because sometimes it looked weird. Like they didn't really de-age De Niro a lot. Like he's supposed to be a young man in some of the scenes, and it kind of looks like he's just a middle-aged man. So I don't know. In those instances, it's just kind of weird. But I can't really fault that for Scorsese or any of the actors. It's just I don't know if the technology was there for them to use.
I think that just comes down to the what's called technology that's used. Did you watch that thing that was after The Irishman? That was basically talking about the technology they used and everything like that.
I did not. No,
dude. So it's not they didn't put the tennis balls on them. They used a separate camera with separate lenses that had the technology being used on it.
Huh.
So
that's interesting.
They didn't have the dots. They didn't have the tennis balls on them. It was literally just this big camera rig with two separate lenses that were capturing it.
It's pretty amazing. It was really hard to see Pesci look as old as he did, though. I mean, I know he's old, but still, you're used to seeing like Goodfellas Pesci, and he just, I mean, he looked like he lost a lot of weight, and because of that, he just looked older to me.
Yeah. So Brad's reaction to it is definitely not mine. I gotta say, I love this movie. This is one of my favorites that Scorsese has done because I think that this is the one where he's not making any compromises, and it's literally Netflix giving him the money and saying, "Hey, Marty, run with it." And I really, really enjoy this movie a lot. And the more it sat with me, the more that I kept analyzing how much I really enjoyed this movie, and I realized that this is up there with Goodfellas, with Casino, and all these other ones, because this is such a different take at it. Because usually in all the other movies with his mobster movies, the mobsters always end up getting bitten in the butt, either getting whacked or the mafia crumbles beneath them. This is a different type of life that keeps crumbling under De Niro's character. He takes his secrets to the grave. And he's alone.
But he doesn't go unscathed. Exactly. He ends up alone. So he might end up worse off than all the other gangster movies.
Exactly.
Like he literally ends up dying an old gangster, which is really sad to see.
Yeah.
And then not on top of that, he kills his best friend, or basically his best friend.
Yeah.
In Al Pacino's Hoffa.
Yeah. And I also think that Marty even knew that this might be the last time he has the three biggest people who've ever played a mobster on screen. Of course, excluding the late great Marlon Brando. And so he was like, you know what? I'm going to fill this with not just incredible storytelling to me, but also references to the great movies that allow me to get here. You saw the music at times. It was referencing a lot of Godfather. There were some
Oh, yeah.
parts in there that were referencing Goodfellas and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it's a mobster movie. I
Mhm.
mean, this is expected. But to me, it was a toned down mobster movie, which makes sense because these are older mobsters.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Goodfellas or Casino where they were younger guys. They were there
Mhm.
breaking skulls. These guys were telling people to break skulls.
Yeah.
And that's really the difference.
And honestly, I have no problem with Joe Pesci being so toned down. I like this side of Pesci. Where
No, it was different. It was different.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. It was different. I mean, I'm used to seeing the De Niro and Pesci going back at each other, yelling at each other,
Yeah.
which I absolutely love. But there are scenes in this where a toned down Pesci and De Niro work. Like we've talked about this when they're speaking Italian. Those scenes where they're breaking bread, they're dipping in the wine, they're speaking Italian. You know, your eyes are glued to that screen just watching them, and you kind of wonder why no one ever had them speak Italian before. Like, I mean, it would be kind of obvious to have them do that.
I swear, Brad, we've had quite the moments in movies in 2019. A lot of people will say that Cap holding Thor's hammer was the most badass moment. Some people will say Captain Marvel in that ship whacking all those enemies. What's it called? In her movie was pretty cool, or her going through the ship in Endgame. That was pretty cool. But nothing to me is cooler than Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro speaking Italian to each other while they're dipping bread into wine.
I mean, I thought it was great.
That was the coolest shit ever.
There are scenes up there that are just amazing to watch and see. And I mean, it's been a really hard run without seeing Pesci in any movies for as long as we have. And I don't know if this will be the final one, but if it is, he's going off on a high note.
Yeah, if this is really the last one, I think that I think even he knew. I want to say, this is not me saying that I know this, but I would think that if Pesci was going to accept a role, he would accept one that is representative of who he is now. The very calm person that he is now, and just very laid back and chill. And that's what this mobster was. And I think that that's that's what some of these mobsters kind of represent. These Al Pacino's still that very energetic dude with his Hoffa. De Niro, he's calm, but he can get dirty still, and he can get his hands dirty. But with Pesci, I like that he was the calm and collected mobster, because I think that is where Pesci is with his career now. I think he's done and he's ready for it to go away. And if you would have watched that thing at the end, Brad, they would have said, like, I don't know if this is the last movie you do or not. And he just laughs it off. Like part of me thinks it's like him saying, like, of course it's the last one. You guys got me out of it, like, just by a thread. You guys got me out of retirement by a thread. But this could be his last one, and that's it.
I think the only one who could get him out of retirement would be Scorsese.
I think so too.
That's what I believe. The only one who could have gotten him to actually make another movie was Scorsese. And to me, this is probably his final. This is his swan song.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you to Joe Pesci for every role he's ever done.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, anytime he's on the screen, he's electric. Even in these, such as My Cousin Vinny and these other portrayals that are a little more toned down than the Casino Joe Pesci, or the one in Goodfellas, the one where he's the explosive one. In this, he's the calm, reserved, and he's telling people what to do. So that was kind of cool to see.
Yeah, and I get where you're coming from, man. I know it felt really out of place to see a very calm Pesci, but the way he was coming at it, I really enjoyed it. I gotta say, him and Pacino and De Niro, those three, they give some of my favorite performances this year. Sadly, I already have my favorite performance locked down for this year, and it was not Joaquin Phoenix for Joker. My friends, Adam Driver in Marriage Story, he is heartbreaking as hell, and that is 100% my favorite performance of the year. But
haven't watched that yet, but mine so far is Aquafina.
Well, no, I mean actor performer. Of course, what's it called? Female performance is Aquafina. There's no one who's beat her yet. Yeah, honestly, but if I would give you the top five, I'd give you Adam Driver, Joaquin Phoenix, Shia LaBeouf in Honey Boy as Otis's father, and then Pacino, De Niro, Pesci, and then number 6 would be Pacino.
Pacino
yeah,
gives a great performance as Hoffa, as this overly stubborn guy that just ends up needing to be killed.
yeah,
Like because he keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, and the last one you need to push is the mob. And
yeah,
that's basically what it comes down to. And what's really heartbreaking though, but I think Pesci's character got it right though, is that I don't think him or De Niro would have survived together unless De Niro had been the trigger man.
yeah, yeah. It was so heartbreaking to see him. That's why I'm telling you, De Niro's performance in this movie is incredible because he could have just done the whole kill and that's it. But when he does that kill, I read it as a very heartbroken De Niro having to kill his best friend.
And it doesn't just start with that kill. It starts from the moment they're in that motel or hotel,
Mm-hmm.
and Pesci tells him you're getting on that plane, and then you get to go with him to the plane, and he gets on the plane, and you ride with him there a while, and then he's getting in a car, he's getting the house where he meets the other mobster hitman.
Yeah.
I think it was Bobby, and he's putting down plastic and all that, and you're getting this feeling of anxiety that De Niro's character would be going through.
Yeah, and it's just incredible because just the what's it called, the editing and direction by Scorsese and Schumacher just create this very tense scene, especially even though he's cracking jokes, the guy in the car with Hoffa, what's it called? I still feel so anxious because I know what's coming, and when he's talking about the whole fish and everything, and also, another person I got to give a big props to, Stephen Graham. Stephen Graham is British, Brad. You could not hear a lick of that British accent coming from it. I thought the man was straight from New York.
Huh.
He was the one who was in the shorts in Florida. That other guy.
That one, the one that got beat up Al Pacino.
Yeah,
in prison?
yeah, yes.
Wow, he was British? I couldn't tell.
He's British.
Huh.
Yeah,
Honestly,
honestly,
kind of crazy. But I had a question. I want to go back just a little bit to the scene where they're driving in the car to go pick up
I don't know what fish.
Pacino, to go pick up Hoffa.
Yeah.
No, did you notice the one where De Niro is like, "I'm not riding up front"? He made it well known that he wasn't riding up front.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a callback to every other fucking gangster movie Scorsese has ever done, where the person riding in the passenger seat either gets freaking shot in the back of the head or gets choked out.
100%. And you just saw him. He's like, I'm not walking back. I'm not in the front. I'm not going in the front. Yeah. And they were trying to argue it. They're like, no, it's okay. Just get in the front. Get in the front. And like, nope, I'm not getting in the front.
I know fucking better.
I know better. I've been in this situation. Oh man. But that was great. The whole time I'm like, there's a reason this man doesn't want to be in the front.
I mean, it was a kind of nice. I noticed it right away. I'm like, this is a cool throwback, and it was just so simple. And I don't know if anybody else who's never seen a Goodfellas or a Casino would have caught that, but it was kind of a nice throwback from Scorsese.
Yeah, man. So I really gotta throw it up because Rodrigo Prieto's like one of my favorite cinematographers. He did the cinematography for most of for the trilogy of death for Iñárritu. He did Babel. He did Amores Perros. He's done most of the work with Scorsese as of late. So the cinematography in this movie is incredible, dude. It looks beautiful. It's a very different look that Scorsese's not really used to filming, but it still really works for it.
I think you had a lot of lighter scenes out. You had them outside more. You had even in the scenes where you had them eating in the restaurants and all that. You still, it wasn't like one of those dark movies like Goodfellas where it was dark bars and everything was kind of in the shadows. This was all out in the open, really.
Yep. So yeah, he did all of Iñárritu's movies until Beautiful, and he did Wolf of Wall Street. He's done Silence, Argo, he's done Frida. He's done a lot of really good movies. So I really got to put it up there for him. He did a great job, and also Brokeback Mountain, of course. He did an incredible job in Brokeback Mountain as well. But the musical choices are great too, and just I never really have to point this out, but it's just something that Martin Scorsese always gets right with his movies. Just the sound of the guns and stuff, the sound design. It's just really well done. You hear it like going pa, like just the noises of the guns as they're firing. It's just like it gets me on edge, and I think that it's again well done in here, just like all the other movies he's done. Like that's just a given when it comes to these movies with him.
I mean, Scorsese knows what he's doing. He's been doing it since before Taxi Driver and the rest. So he's got it down as director, and he knows what he wants. And this is an epic by him.
Yeah.
So I mean, is it my preferred brand of Scorsese? No. I mean, like I said, I think it's a little toned down for my taste. Does that make it bad or anything? No. This is an amazing movie everybody should watch.
Yeah. So you guys probably think, oh, this must be the last time Scorsese's making a movie, that because people remember when we heard those reviews, people were like, if this was something he was gonna retire on, this is the movie to do it. But no, we've got his next project is with Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio, The Killers of the Flower Moon. It'll be released in 2021. So that's gonna be something to look forward to. But yeah, Brad, at any time did you feel that this movie was the one that he would retire on?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I mean, this movie made me feel like this might be the last one Pesci would retire on.
Yeah,
for sure. That's the feeling I got. If you've ever seen interviews with Scorsese or like watched YouTube videos of him talking about movies and such, you know this man is probably going to end up like Tarantino. Tarantino says he's only going to do 10 movies. That's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
You know, Tarantino is going to do movies even if it's like movies on feet. He's going to do it until he dies.
Yeah.
Like, and that's how I feel Scorsese's going to go. He's going to get he's going to pull a Kubrick.
Yeah.
And get 3/4 of the way through a movie and then just pass away.
That's after he gives up okay, here's the copy of the movie. Next day he died. Yep.
Yeah.
What's it called? Or just do the Hitchcock, makes like 50 freaking movies and he just dies and that's it. You know? But yeah, I don't ever feel like Scorsese does retire. But if this was it, if this would have been the movie, then I think that he would have ended on a high note for sure. And
how hyped do you think Netflix was able to get their hands on this? This created so much hype in the Netflix world, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
that's where you got the 28 million views. I mean, I want to know what that means in dollar signs. Like that's got to mean a lot.
For sure. That's got to mean a lot, dude. So the runtime. So honestly, in my opinion, guys, I usually watch movies that are as long as 3 hours, never 3 hours and 30 minutes. There was only one part where I felt the length, but that was like towards like the last 30 minutes, because when it gets to the last 30 minutes, it really slows down for you because you're
you're watching them die.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So it is kind of slow. You're just watching these guys. They're stuck in prison. They're getting older, and De Niro is just watching everyone he's ever known or loved pass away.
Yeah. So that like that's a little minor gripe, but to me, honestly, I really can't say much. Like, cause most of the movies I'm used to watching are that slow, and they really are that slowed down. So the de-aging to me, honestly, guys, like, I mean, I guess this is just my eyes being my eyes, but it really didn't bother me. I really didn't notice it. Yeah, it looked a little bit funny sometimes, but like the whole time I was just kind of glued to the screen about the story I was watching. I really didn't care about the de-aging. So, it's just kind of like Captain Marvel. Like
I just had an issue where they're trying to portray De Niro, I'm guessing as a 20 or 30-year-old. That's what I'm guessing, when he was driving trucks.
Yeah.
And he looked like a 40, 50-year-old to me.
Yeah.
So, like, the de-aging didn't take him back far enough.
Yeah. But that's just the limits of the technology that we're working with right now in the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, it didn't take me out of the movie. It's just one of those things I noticed. I'm like, how old is he supposed to be?
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, man. Well, what's it called? Still, it was pretty cool. One of the scenes that really stood out to me was also when he gives him the ring. I like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also, what's it called?
Only three people have this, and one's Irish.
Yeah. By the way, also, people aren't giving much love to Harvey Keitel in this movie. He was pretty good in this one too, and Ray Romano.
Yeah, Ray Romano was great as a twitchy lawyer, I have to admit. And I had to bring up another scene. The one scene where he kills, basically the dude made an attempt at Pesci, like he was rude during his birthday party, and that whole scene where he's explaining how he's going to do it, like what kind of guns to use, and he goes through that, and then how he's going to do it. He's going to take out the bodyguard first, and then kill the dude, and then get out of there. And the way that's kind of shown, it reminds me kind of like a Casino in the way they did that. So it's Scorsese just doing his best stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 100%. Yeah, I just love how he lines up the guns and stuff, and he organizes them.
And he's like, nope.
And he's explaining to you why. It's like Scorsese's giving you a free course in the mob. He's like, okay, you're not gonna want this one because this one makes too much noise. This is not gonna make enough noise. This it's gonna be too heavy to carry around the whole day. So you're gonna want to go with this one. So it's like, God damn it, dude. Like, I love you, Martin Scorsese. You're like, come on, man, just what he does. And that scene was so good. He's basically giving you a free class in the mafia.
Really, he really is.
Yeah, he's giving you a master class in the mafia. Oh man.
So, guys, if you want to learn how to do mob stuff, watch some Scorsese movies.
Watch the Scorsese movies. Oh my god.
Kids, watch Scorsese movies.
Watch Scorsese. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into our scoring here, man. So it's easy. I said this is one of my favorite Scorsese movies. It's up. Hold on. I believe I have my list here. So of course my favorite one is still Taxi Driver. I don't think any of the movies that Scorsese has made have ever topped Taxi Driver. I think Taxi Driver is like his freaking masterpiece. After that, of course, is Raging Bull. I love Raging Bull a lot. That's definitely up there. And I have Goodfellas.
You quoted enough.
Huh?
You quoted enough.
Yeah. And then I have Goodfellas at 3. And then after that, I have The Irishman at 4. So, this is just another 10 for me. It's another 10 from Scorsese. I freaking love this movie. It is, I believe, my 5th favorite movie of the year, if I'm correct. Because, yes, I am correct. Number 5. It is my number 5. Above it is The Lighthouse, Parasite, The Farewell, and Honey Boy. So, just all those other movies were just way miles better than the Irishman. But like Brad said, when you were acting like a dick with me, you're like, yeah, you probably prefer this over The Farewell. I'm like, no. This is like no, and it's a damn shame that Lulu Wang was not nominated for a Golden Globe. That's
what
stupid.
the fuck is up with that? I mean, I'm not big in awards and anything, but it seems like Golden Globes just kind of was like, females make movies, really? What? What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, The Farewell was better than any of those movies on that category. 100 freaking percent. It's 100% better than all those movies. She's a better director than all those directors too. She did a better job, and that's my hot take for today. Even better than Parasite, I'm telling you guys. So, Brad, what's your score here?
Oh, well, Goodfellas was a 10 for me.
Of course.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to go back. I'm trying to remember what Casino was. Because I think I like this one a little better than Casino.
You gave Casino a 9.25, I think.
9.25?
I think that's what you said.
I'll give Irishman 9.5 then.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just, and it could change. It could be a 10. It could easily be a 10 for me. It's just, I probably have to watch it again and just get used to a toned down Pesci. That's just where I'm at. It's just because I love when Pesci is just so exuberant and electric in his and his basically his dialogue, where he's just cursing out everyone. I really love when he does that.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind seeing him in this form. It's just I don't know if I liked it as much as seeing him and De Niro in Goodfellas or casino when they're going at each other.
Mm-hmm. All right, man. Well, that is our review of Martin Scorsese's The Irishman, or I Heard You Paint Houses. That was actually the title that came up in the movie. So and I gotta say, that was a really interesting way that he put the title in. Like he does it in Goodfellas, where it just kind of comes like from the side and stuff. But I wasn't expecting for it to come out like that in the movie, where it's just like, I heard you paint houses. I'm like, okay. Yeah. I was like, God damn it. All right. So, this is a great movie. And honestly, if you're going to watch Irishman, just watch that scene where they're speaking Italian. Swear, that's some of the best I've ever seen, man. I'm sorry. I cannot be more obsessed with that scene than I already am, dude. I swear, I've never... Why didn't nobody, not even Martin Scorsese, ever have the idea of doing that before this time? But now he's like, I bet he put them down. He was like, hey, go speak Italian with each other. I'm like, oh, I don't think so, Marty. All right, let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah, so if you guys got 3 hours and 28 minutes, go watch this.
Go watch this. Yep. So that was our review of The Irishman. And, of course, we've got some plugs to do here. So sit tight while we tell you all about our wonderful...
Plug.
Wonderful housekeeping here. All right, so we've got producers galore for this month. Let me get through the Patreon stuff first. So our associate producers, Cassie and Sarah, we love you so much. Thank you so much for being Patreon producers at the associate level. Our executive producers are Grayson, Shane, and Bryce, who is also one of the people who donated during the month of November to our cause here, and they helped us get a new computer. So Bryce, thank you so much for being wonderful. You can follow Bryce at BrownRice1996. You can follow Grayson at GraysonBarker98 and Warlord him at 98. Grayson Barker 98 is on Instagram. The other one is on Twitter. And Shane, where can they find him?
You can find our friend Shane at twitch.tv/SRRKK or on Twitter at SRRKK Twitch.
Yeah. Okay, I knew I was missing somebody yesterday, Brad. It was Paige. How could I forget about Paige?
Give her a double shout out then.
Yeah.
Double shout out, Paige.
Paige. Go follow Paige. We've got our other producers. Paige's Beastin'. That's hers. We've got Ninja Flippy, Man Captain Pokey, Esports Phoenix, Literally Nico, Emerus, Paige's Beastin', Brown Rice 9696, and Sarah M with 2 A's and 2 M's. EMM. So go and follow them. They're awesome people, and thank you so much for supporting the Nerdcore during our month of November. We were fundraising for a new computer because of unforeseen circumstances, but now I do not.
Oh, and shout out to @SilentUshi.
@SilentUshi, yes. SilentUshi on Instagram and Twitter. Go follow her, too. She's awesome, and we love her so much, and we hope that she's feeling better. Go and rate and review the podcast on your podcast app of choice. It really does help the feed grow, guys. And go check us out on Twitter at the Nerdcore _, Instagram at the Nerdcore, Facebook group, the Nerdverse, the official Nerdcore group. Jabril has been posting a lot of memes in that group, and he's really enjoying his time in the group, and you guys should go and join too. Brad, I'm telling you, you need to make a Facebook just for the group. Like, you don't have to have anybody. Just join the group, and that's it.
Maybe they can convince me. How about we get to 20 Patreon supporters and I'll join Facebook?
No. Join the damn group. It's fun. Jabril and I, we are just constantly joking about you. And it's no fun when you don't get to see what we're joking about.
Well, maybe I'll leave it that way.
Shut up. All right, go check out the Nerdcore.
What the hell can you be joking about all the time? Because I don't know what's so funny. What's so funny?
Whatever.
You think I'm a clown? You think I'm a clown roll?
Yeah. Okay, go check out the nerdcore.com. That is our website where we post reviews. I've got 2 new reviews coming up soon, one for Marriage Story and one for Parasite. So, when those come out, I will tell you all about it. And in the meantime, go check out the YouTube channel as well. A bunch of podcasts and videos are on there. More to come as soon as I can figure out how I can do the thing I was doing before to put the trailers in there. So, without further ado, my friend Bradley, would you send them into the podcast void?
All right, Ro. Thank you for being host as always. Thank you to all our wonderful listeners out there, all our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. You help us continue to do what we love to do. And I guess to end this episode, I'll just say I do not paint houses. I'm not Huck Finn.
Can't wait to talk about the movie next on Thursday, where we talk about how a camera jamming almost ruined the whole production.
out.